When looking for an attorney, I think one of the most important things is authenticity. What you want is a person who's gonna give you honest answers. And unfortunately, sometimes honest answers are not the thing you want to hear. And oftentimes I have to deliver maybe news that the client doesn't want to hear, or the possibility that the position they're taking is not realistic and isn't gonna get them a realistic outcome. And when we do that cost-benefit analysis, it comes up on the losing end of it, where they're just gonna spend too much time and too much effort and too much money with too little of a chance of return. And oftentimes clients come to me having talked to other attorneys who promise them the world that they can't deliver on. And what happens is at times I lose them as clients because they're chasing the shiny object, the solution they want, when based on the years of experience my team and I have, the probability of getting that is slim to none. And we do lose people by giving them the hard facts, the hard truth. And may it be the outcome that they're gonna get, the probability they're gonna get the outcome they want, or even the cost of the services that they have. Oftentimes they come in with a perception of it being less expensive than it really is, and they find attorneys out there who will support that perception. And then they find as they start to go through the process that it turns out to be more expensive than they initially thought. The outcome they want is not the outcome that they were given or led to. So we do lose clients because in the beginning of our first consult, we try to talk about possible outcomes and often tell them we can't meet you where you want to be. It's not realistic. And one of the things we really like to do is within each case, we'll usually write down where we think this case is going to end. And I always like to revisit that at the end of the case and kind of see where we ended up from the initial action plan to the end of the case. And fortunately, we usually do come back in a pretty good place. When talking with attorneys, you want to make sure it's really important that you understand where they're coming from. Anyone who's promising you a result, or a person who's saying they can do it fast, or will get you to the solution you want quickly and inexpensively, be wary. Because the law is a very slow process, unfortunately, and requires the meticulousness of going through the details and really doing the homework. And anyone who's going to provide you a quick fix or a quick solution, I would be on the lookout for, and I would be very concerned about. There isn't a quick fix in most instances. Now, sometimes there are things we do that are easy per se, and we can do them very expeditiously, but it's only because we've been doing them for so long and we have such a process in place that ensures that the team can do it consistently. Sure, in those instances, we can do them rapidly or quickly or faster than others, but the question is it done right? And that's really what you want at the end of the day, is you want your problem solved correctly, efficiently, and done right. People often come to us looking for a quick fix or a quick solution or an easy solution, and they see it. I mean, we're bombarded on the internet nowadays with quick solutions and quick answers, videos that in a minute give you the solution to every single one of your problems. And this is a big misconception that we have, and it's something that people are always marketing to, that we can solve your problem in 3 minutes for a flat rate of X dollars. And that's just not how it is. What happens is everything is fact specific. And sure, there are some facts that are very easy and can be resolved, but most facts require the attention and detail that we're gonna give as a team to the client and their facts to get to that result. So that's kind of an uphill battle that we're faced with, is the clients need to get something done quickly and inexpensively with our desire to deliver the best possible results in the most cost-effective manner. When we meet with clients and we learn the facts of their case, and we really take the time to uncover all of those facts, and we go through the fact-finding process, and then we can apply that facts that we've learned to the problem at hand and the law, and we work the three of them together clients are really impressed at the depth in which we go to get them their solutions. And it's almost like a light bulb goes off that they realize that their problem is maybe not quite as simple, and that the solutions are not as black and white as they thought they were. And through that process of exploring the facts, applying it to the law, and coming up with a solution, clients realize that we're on the right track. We're with the right people, and they're gonna help get me where I need to be, despite the fact that what I thought was a simple solution is actually more complicated than we really thought. And then we go through and educate the client as to what the solution is and achieve that goal. Clients often come to me and ask about some of the online services for their estate planning, where they can kind of fill in the boxes and get a quick solution. And I often hear them say, well, my problem isn't that big, and I can just use one of these canned responses, only to learn that there are a lot of traps for the unwary when you used one of these canned estate plans, where maybe you're not gonna get the result that you want. There are things in Massachusetts with an estate plan, like, for example, you need 2 witnesses and they have to attest to the fact that you're over 18. They have to attest to the fact that you're voluntarily signing this document. And they have to attest to the fact that you're of sound mind. And if those are missing, it creates an incredible problem in probate. I had a client come to me and they had one of these wills and estate plans that they put together, and I went through it with them and showed them that if you used this document, your result would not be what you were hoping. Or clients will come to me having talked to other attorneys that are in essence promising them the world on their personal injury case or their litigation case. And to see what has been accomplished and what the client thought was done are 2 very different things. Instead, what we try to do with all of our clients is to underpromise and overdeliver. So setting expectations is really going to be key. Where can we get to, and how are we going to get there becomes key. And there's often a lot of noise that's out there, and especially with the internet, that clients see these shiny things and make the wrong decisions. So we really try to educate as many people as possible that this is the best solution we can, because this is what you're looking for and this is the result we're trying to get you to. People are often attracted to the shiny new object, the quick fix. Unfortunately, there isn't a quick fix. What you have to do is go through the painstaking process of identifying the issue, finding out what the perceived goal is, and working backwards from that goal to implement the steps to get the client where they need to be. And if you're not following that process and you're just jumping to the conclusion and doing it as hastily and inexpensively and quickly as possible, it's a losing result every time. It may be a short-term win, but at the end of the day, you are not going to get that result as putting in the work, rolling up your sleeves, and getting it done. One of the big problems we face with clients is they want things done super fast, and they don't understand that it's a building process that takes time. That going to court often involves multiple days in court, that you have to go back, set goals, expectations, and things that have to be accomplished before the next court date, where you check in and you show what you've accomplished. And then another court date, and you show what you've accomplished. And all of this is part of the process to allow time for people to heal, to develop a parenting plan, to develop an action plan, and to implement that action plan, and to show the court that these 2 people can follow this plan. And only then will the process have worked and will end, when you've implemented, shown, and are following through on that plan.